If you could just start your name, age, and then just kind of overview of your position and what you do here at the funeral.
My name is Dennis Hastings. My official title is a fully licensed mortician for the state of Idaho. I'm an owner-operator of a couple funeral homes.
My name is Riley Savage. I'm 23 and I'm a mortician apprentice.
Jace Aldous, I'm 24.
I'm Kassidee, I'm 21 years old. I am an apprentice here at the funeral home.
Brandon Reynolds, 31 years old, and here at the funeral home, kind of do everything.
It's like therapy. And Brandon, feel free to tell him anything, any stories, nothing's off limits. That's okay, you can show them that.
We can start it and...
Yeah, the whole thing.
Oh, boy.
Just make sure to turn that tag around. How I got started, I had met a friend of mine at the gas station here in Lewiston at a stinker station. He had completed his apprenticeship. He was going to go to mortuary school, and his bosses were wanting him to find a replacement. So he asked me if I wanted to come work. I said, sure, I can do that. Now, I'd had a little preparation ahead of time. When my family moved from Lewiston to Blackfoot, Idaho, just down the street was a mortuary. And the family that lived at the funeral home, up above the funeral home, I'd kind of made friends with their oldest son. We went to church together, same age, same class. So it was easy to be exposed to sleepovers in the viewing rooms, daring each other to touch the dead body, all those things that go along with kids in the single-digit years. And so when Jeff asked me if I wanted a job at the funeral home, didn't bother me.
Is anybody going to be caught off guard by us?
So, Dennis told us yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay.
He said, they're coming in to film tomorrow, don't forget. And I said, who? And he goes, you dummy, I told you about this. I was like, I don't remember anything.
Just wanted to let you know there's going to be a viewing on the other side of here.
Okay.
A little emotional. Just kind of wanted to...
Should we, and we're not going to be loud, but should we not be here? Should
No,
we?
you guys
Okay.
are just fine. It just kind of can be a little awkward to listen to sometimes.
Yep.
The wife is a little emotional, so I just kind of wanted to prepare you for
Sounds
it.
good. We'll keep it down.
Of course.
Specifically yesterday, she was very emotional, so we just try to provide comfort and privacy. You know, some people, they don't even need a viewing. They don't like to see that, or they don't want to, and each thing is completely acceptable. There's no right or wrong reaction or emotion or choice to make in any of this.
I didn't realize how not soundproof these curtains here are. So we heard that a lot more than I realized we were going to. It's sad someone was having a hard time with the passing of a loved one. I feel like that was fitting to have at the beginning of this to kind of say this is I don't know, I'm glad we obviously didn't record it, but that was the intro. I was like, all right, the heaviness of the business. That was the true fly on the wall experience. We were here but not here, just this weird little.
So that's Brandon. Introduce yourself. Ask him questions, guys.
You want to...
Please don't.
Should we bring one?
Running a funeral home, I've learned how to do that working with Dennis. So working here, I've learned to become a plumber, an electrician, get on the roof and clean it off and everything. You name it, I could probably do it now. Embalmings, cremations, talking with families, going on removals and meeting families there at the house or at the nursing home. Kind of do it all. My favorite part of this job would have to be being able to meet and talk with families and get to know new people in the sad situation that we're meeting them in. But as you get to know them a little bit more, you get to figure out how to help them, and that's what people are looking for, is help and guidance. Doing that, I think, outweighs all the negativity that we see and deal with on a daily basis.
we have a crematory.
The starting point of everything is right here. So we put everyone into a cardboard cremation container, and then we put the name, the funeral home. We mark which side the head is, because depending on how big they are, if they're super small, we can put them in foot first, because we're not too worried about anything coming out. If they're bigger, we know where the head is. The bigger part of the person is usually towards the top, so we'll put them in head first.
In the natural course of working in the crematory, there's dust, that kicks up. I remember going into my mother-in-law and father-in-law's house, and we were having dinner over at their house. Deidre and I were still dating, and I came in and I just had looked at my sleeve and kind of brushed it off. And I said, I got people all over me. And my mother-in-law, I don't know what she said, but she wasn't amused. But I think that my wife got a kick out of that. And so that type of humor kind of made her feel a little more comfortable about my being involved in this business.
We write down pacemaker, or in this case pace, prints, and jewelry. We make sure that these are all marked. We take the pacemaker out if someone has one. If not, the heat from the crematory will cause it to explode, and it will put holes in the wall and the ceiling, and then we have to re-brick it.
So we'll kind of figure that out the hard way the first time.
Yeah. Then we get everyone's prints, regardless if they ask or not, because down the road we've had people call and say, do you have Dad's prints? Now it's all digital. It used to be ink. We used to be out here for 45 minutes with one person putting ink on fingers and trying to get a good one. We don't cremate any jewelry, even if the family asks us to. We just tell them that we'll put it in the top of the urn, just because later down the road, don't want them coming back and saying, well, you cremated the ring.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have. And then it starts a whole long process. We put beer cans in there. We put
I would say blankets are probably
blankets.
Oh, okay.
Had
we had a couple things.
I had one. It was a child of someone, not a child, but like their child, and he said I snuck in a firecracker in Dad's pocket. And I put it in. It was just one of the small ones, so I wasn't like too worried about it.
The way to get into the industry that we took that was probably most beneficial was to serve an apprenticeship. So you get hired on at a funeral home. You begin to work as an apprentice under a licensed mortician in the state that you want to become licensed in, and you serve a 2-year apprenticeship. And during that apprenticeship, you are exposed to all aspects of the funeral business. Most individuals that want to complete apprenticeship will go on further to complete their licensing requirements that the state has established, and then you become fully licensed.
I'm Kassidee. I'm 21 years old, and I am an apprentice here at the funeral home. I'm studying to be a funeral director. I do embalmings, cremations, removals, all of that. I started in Utah, and my neighbor there owned a funeral home, and I started there as an apprentice, and they sold the company, and when they merged, I lost my job there, and my family knows Dennis pretty well. I called him and asked if he had any openings and moved up here to continue the work.
I've been kind of around the medical field and the death industry since I was really young. Started in it at 15, actually, as a junior coroner. I started trying to get my EMT license about the same time, and it just didn't work out, so I kind of looked for other avenues that were available, and I ended up working with the coroner's office there and became really passionate about it, realized that, this might be a calling for me. I can kind of do a job that normal people wouldn't be able to do. It's nice being able to step up in a position where most people aren't capable of doing that.
I started doing this actually in college. I've been friends with Brandon Reynolds, another coworker here, and he said, hey, you want to start going on removals over the weekends? And so it's extra money, and it felt like I could help people that were in my community. So yeah, I just started doing it.
You ever had a false alarm? It was like, wait, they're not dead.
No, but they'll call me and they'll wake me up in the middle of the night.
Like if it's coming and they know?
And it's not even that, and it's the fact that they're dead and then they want me to wait 6 to 12 hours to come in.
Oh.
How do you lift heavy people? Do you just grunt? Do you need more people? Do you have any special tools?
I won't say what I normally do about the physical requirements at that point. But you have certain aids that are essential that you have to have. So the cot that we use to transfer in and out of the vehicle and around, it's on wheels, of course, but the legs collapse. On each of our cots, we have what's called a scoop stretcher. And it's a metal framed that comes apart on each side, and it has, metal decking, I guess, underneath, and it comes apart, and so you can roll one side, tuck it in, roll the other side, tuck it in, and connect it. And so it's one piece. And then we have straps, that scoop stretcher, since it's metal, you can strap them down to it. And those are definitely essential at times, because the places and positions that people will pass away in, you have to be able to lift and manipulate and lift one end up and the other end up and turn around a tight door frame, and you're not going to be able to wheel the cot in and out of those places, and so you have to be able to have a working idea how we're going to manipulate removal from this door that into this hallway. And a lot of times, to be honest, we have body bags that those pouches are zippered, but they have handles and they're a thicker plastic or fabric. And sometimes the only thing you can do is place the person in that and drag to a position where you can get them on the cot. And so there's any number of circumstances that present themselves that you're going to have to work with. And even then, sometimes it's not going to work. And you have to devise other means to transfer someone out from where they passed away.
I've gone on calls where, like here in Lewiston, in the middle of the day, especially when people are out driving around and neighbors are home, especially if they're in a retirement community, people don't necessarily know who we are until we get the cot out. And then people, window watching, they start coming out and neighbors are coming out, they're all talking with each other.
Did somebody die?
And we come out with the body on the cot. We try and be as quick as we can, because we don't want to just take our time and people are pointing and laughing, not laughing, but talking about what's happened, and then they start asking questions, and we're just trying to get out as quick as possible. I went on a call out in Lapway with the Native American tribe out there. When someone passes away out there, it's a big thing. And traditions come into play, and they had called us too early, and we had got out there and they still weren't done. And there was a big crowd, probably 50, 60 people. And me and the guy that went out there, they had a whole barbecue going. They fed us, and we sat down and talked with them. And I knew some of them from previous calls and everything. Yeah, one of the ladies out there was like, feed these men while we do our dressing and singing. And we're like, all right. So we were out there for like an hour and a half. And that's not including the drive. That's just at the house.
So there's somebody in there. That's not a Christmas tree.
Nobody in there yet.
Oh, and no, in there though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's someone in there.
Yeah, someone in here.
Yeah, so that's okay, you can show them that.
We can start it and...
Yeah, the whole thing, the whole thing. Just make sure to turn that tag around. Ask me questions, guys.
Are they're all clothed? Like they're dressed in something? Or
Depends. So usually, if they're being viewed, they'll either be in a hospital gown, or if the family brings in clothes. If they're from like a nursing home or the hospital, they usually have a hospital gown on. It's the ones where they were on hospice, the hospice nurse didn't get them dressed or something, and they just got a blanket. We picked up people that don't have clothes on, and we just take them with us. And so on this panel right here, we have our door control, the blower, the afterburner, and the main burner. The door control obviously is just the door up and down. And then we'll turn the afterburner on, and then on the inside, the flame in the far back, up in that top right corner, there'll be a flame that comes out of there, and that's when it starts warming up inside, and that's when we'll put the body into the crematory. Once we get it into the crematory, we wait for this to get to 700 degrees, and when that gets to 700 degrees, then it's warm enough and ready to start the cremation process with the flame coming out from down in here. There'll be a flame that comes out of there, and that's when it starts warming up inside, and that's when we'll put the body into the crematory. Let me start it?
Do it.
Yeah. You get a shot at that.
You get a shot of that.
So yeah, we have 2 buckets, and this bucket that we use is after we've done the cremation. Inside of here, we'll have a plastic bag, which we will use for the cremains, and then just a little twist tie.
So if someone were to pass, just say we had a body down at the hospital, we'd go down to the hospital and bring them back here. For cremation, we have to wait for the doctor to sign the death certificate, and then the coroner has to sign and say, yes, this person can be cremated. So between the doctor and the coroner, usually 3-4 days between both of them. So they'll just be in the cooler for a couple of days until that gets signed, and then they can be cremated. If we get a call and we know that the person is going to have a service and be embalmed, we'll bring them back and start embalming right away. If we don't know, if the family kind of can't make up their mind what they want to do, we'll just place them in the cooler until the family comes in and says, this is what we want to do.
So this is where everyone's kept. The only time we don't keep somebody in here is like if we go and pick somebody up and they say they want mom and dad embalmed, usually we'll do it right away. So we'll bring them back, run them downstairs to the prep room, and
Everyone's embalmed stays down there.
yeah, unless we're gonna keep them for a while, then we'll bring them up to the cooler and put them in here, but usually they just stay downstairs because usually a funeral's within a week or so. It's about 10 feet deep, or
Let me check this.
we got people in there, I don't know.
I know, but we want to keep the body above freezing, because if we do need to embalm them, you don't want blood vessels and stuff to be frozen. So
that's the flame in the back.
take a glove, take a roller.
Gone to calls where someone lived by themselves, they called family, and the family said, go ahead and take them. We're not gonna make it in time, or we're out of town. But yeah, crowds are, I've been on Main Street, had to come down with the cot, and the cop blocked off one side of the road, and we parked there in front of him, and I think that was the fastest we've ever moved with a cot and a person on it, and just out and right in. And sometimes you get angry people that don't know what's going on. We picked up a bigger guy, and we were afraid to take turns because we were afraid of the cot tipping over. And so we had a police car in front of us. We were probably going about 10 miles an hour, and we had people flipping us off. Get off the road! And getting mad at us because we weren't going fast enough, and going 10, 15 miles an hour in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. And it's like, if they only knew.
Not to be morbid, but like, do you smell anything? Like, is it like
So
If you were to put a pig in there,
when I first started working here, a big thing for us on Sundays is doing roast. I could not eat a roast for probably about 2 or 3 months.
Well, because,
It was difficult.
when we pull it forward, we have to open it up. So it's burning in there.
if people got fat, also
It's
Well, that smoke, instead of just going all through the chimney all the time, it won't come out this way. And so it'll smell like cooking.
It's
good but bad, right?
it's like good, but then you're like, but this is a human body, so it's like it's not good, but it smells just like a roast. I mean, it's.
I knew it.
Next time you make a roast,
I'd put some garlic in my pockets and just be ready for it. No, just kidding.
Take a glove, take our roller.
All right. So first thing we do is typically this will be on because after a cremation, it's still pretty hot, and we turn the blower on so it gets the airflow kind of going and the hot air comes out. We'll turn that off and we raise the door. Too high with the door because then it'll get stuck. And then you gotta go, and what we do is we'll take this, cover it up right here because that's where the flame shoots out. We don't want to get the bones or anything to block the hole. So this is what we use, like typically if we have a bigger person and our dam doesn't work inside the crematory, and fat leaks over the side into the hole, this catches it all and it will all burn up in there. It's happened before where it's leaked out of there and out onto the floor and we gotta clean it up. That's a fun process. We have our broom here. And so you can kind of see where they are. So we'll reach all the way back. You kind of put pressure down as you pull forward. I'll pull forward there. Go to the other side. Pull forward. Clear out the sides here. Pull what's in the middle forward. So I try and get it all to the front as much as possible. So I'll put this back. Grab a brush. And try and get everything off because we pulled all the way to the front. So try and get everything. It's hot, so sometimes the cooler becomes your best friend in the summertime. And you stand there for about 10-15 seconds, then you come back in. One of the things that sucks about cremations, when you bury someone, you know they're all there. It's all them. Cremations, 98% all them. 2% somebody else maybe.
It makes me sad to even ask about, but like, can little, like infant babies be cremated? Because I feel like their bones would be burned up all the way.
So yes, when you have like a miscarriage or a baby, we have this. And so what we do is we take the time, turn the time down, and we put this just right on the other side of where the flame comes out. And we'll keep the baby in here. Because yes, not a lot of bones. And we want to keep it all together. Because the flame being shot out will blow everything back. Try and shake it. Because sometimes when you pull it off, it's all just in one big pile on like this side. And so as you pull it through, the little tunnel it goes through will flatten it all out and sometimes it gets stuck. I'd say that's about average of what we get per person. And I didn't see any metal as I was sweeping, so I don't know if there's anything in there, but And then we always take the tags so we know who's going where and whose ashes are whose. I'll put that there. And then we're ready to start the next one. Breathing them in right now.
Yeah, I know. Can't take what.
I'm gonna get out of here.
That's just like, I don't know what it is, but it's just weird. They're gone. Because even a body you can bury, but when you get cremated, you just no more. I would get my ashes put into paint and then paint it on. That would not be very. I don't know. I cut that. I don't know what I would do. How much money would it take for you to eat something that was cooked in the crematorium?
There'd be no money in those.
No money?
No.
Come on.
No.
To never have to worry about money again, you wouldn't eat a pizza that was stuck in there.
No.
Bro, I totally would.
Because the thing is, I know that as soon as it heats up, people start, like the remains of people that didn't get scraped are going to get stirred up.
Yeah, it's gross. I wouldn't do it for $50. But you tell me, like, for $1 billion, I would munch that pizza.